Hey guys, welcome back. Merry Christmas. Okay, yeah, I know it's a little bit too early. Like, what? We're gonna go ahead and start the holiday project and get it going. This is gonna be video 1 for project 3. And as you can tell, we're gonna do some candy canes and we're gonna work with the complementary colors. There's 3 sets of those from the 6 primaries and secondaries. Now, if you go through the module, it'll explain everything. Good to go, do that, and then you'll understand this a little better. So I'm going to give a lot of creative freedom on this. The kids in brick and mortar are actually going to be using pastels. I did not put pastels on your list because I did not want to concur, a big expense. Those can, even the cheaper ones, because you have to have a variety of colors, can be kind of expensive. And I was not trying to blow out the budget for you e-learners. So I'm going to give 2 possibilities here. This is with actually marker. So I'm going to do one with a marker, and we actually have the option for watercolor. So if you did pick up your watercolor sets and you want to do that, you can do that too. And I'll show you how to do that on probably the next video. This is going to be 3 or 4 videos. We're going to take our time. And I'll be quite honest with you, the hardest part of this project are these darn, excuse my language, these darn candy canes. I draw them all the time in practice. I can freehand them now, but they annoy me because I try to get that arch right. And then it goes straight. This part's easy, it's the arch. So what I did do, if you want to look up, and this isn't cheating, you're fine. I actually designed and made my own template, so I don't have to keep trying to make the same one. I also found some online. If you Google, get permission first, and you look at, and actually, yeah, here it is, it's firstpalette.com. They actually have this, you can print it out, cut one out, and you can trace it on here. I'm not gonna consider that cheating for this, because the most important thing I want you doing is the getting the color patterns right. We're gonna put some light and shadow, a little light there like it's reflecting, working with the colors. We're gonna do the interior design, all right? So you can either make your own template like I did, or you can go to there and print one out, and you'll just hold it down. You don't need 2, just do 1. I just copied to show this. So that is the hardest part, and we're gonna go ahead and do all 3. We're gonna do 1 for the red and green, 1 for the blue and orange, and 1 for the purple and yellow. And I usually do, and the reason I'm doing all 3 is usually I give choice, but everybody just wants to do the red and green because it's more Christmassy, but I want you to know all 3 combinations. Red is the primary, green is the secondary. Red is hot, green is cool, opposites attract. If you mix these complementary colors, it's gonna neutralize and knock themselves out. So it'll make like dark brown, black, all this kind of stuff. So they're side by side, it's like Batman and Superman, opposites attract. Even though they look different and act different, they have the same goal. So blue is cool and primary, orange is hot and secondary. Yellow, hot, primary, purple, secondary, cool. Okay? So they're across from each other on the color wheel. And I put all that stuff, and you'll see that in the module. But I just want to review this real quick. So that's why we're gonna put it in pattern form. So today, for video 1, all you're gonna need, I'm gonna move this out of the way. All you're gonna need is, if you're gonna do the watercolor, get the watercolor paper. If you're gonna do the regular paper, just get regular drawing paper. You can try both, it's fine, but you can watch the video and see for your decision. Right now, I'm just gonna just construct it. We'll get to the coloring later. All right, you're gonna need a pencil. You may or may not need, I'm not gonna say ruler, but you are gonna need either an ink pen. If you're gonna paint, you don't wanna use the ink pen. You wanna use one of these Sharpies. It is a thin tip. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can use the thick Sharpie, the regular Sharpie, that's okay too. The reason I say don't use the ink pen, this will bleed with watercolor. Sharpies won't, they'll dry after a while, okay? And to be quite honest with you, you can actually wait and trace. And if you're stuck with an ink pen, after you watercolor, then you can go back and trace a little bit, and I'll show you how to do all that. Okay, but first thing first, let's design this project. All right, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. Okay, now remember, you can pause and all this stuff. You have advantages that brick and mortar don't. We're limited time here. You got this whole week. So after, go take care, look at study candy canes. Go make your template, okay? Or go print it out and cut it out. I'll wait for you. No, I'm kidding. Just pause the video, come back, and then we'll do it, okay? So I'm gonna keep going like you already got all this part done. All right, so we're gonna do 3. Now you can have them going in whatever direction you want. That is gonna be up to you. Like I said, I wanna give a lot of creative freedom. I don't wanna hold you down on this part. Your main objective is know and memorize the 3 complementary colors. So I'm gonna put one, I'm gonna start in the center, okay? I hold down tight. I used a little cardstock, like heavier paper, but make sure you hold your paper down tight. And I'm just gonna trace my template. Use my template to trace the design. Whoops. You gotta hold it down tight. Move your fingers with it. Even when I have a template to trace, these candy canes get annoying. I love them, but I hate drawing them, I'll be honest with you. I just want to do something really cool. But also, you can't always run away from something. Like, I won't avoid drawing something because it's hard. I want to get better at it. You just got to practice. Not everything's going to come easy. So, all right, so I got one in the center. Now, I'm actually, on the one I did here, I did one going this way, that way, and then that, no. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this one up. You can do whatever way you want. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to have them all going this way. Okay, so hold down again. Trace. Take your time. Don't worry about speed. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video, so you're not sitting here bored watching me the whole time. All right. Get around the curve. Don't let it move like I just did. Take your time. Lightly with your pencil. I'm going heavier so you can see it on the video. You draw lightly because we're really not going to need these lines much. Okay? And then the last one, number 3. This thing will stop moving. There we go. Wow. I'm not having a good time with this one. And there you go. All right. And I'll polish anything I need to do. That needs to be fixed a little bit. There's no editing on my videos. You see everything as is. All right, so you got your 3. Now, I made a mistake there. I should have made it more balanced. You see, like, this one's back here and this one's way over. That's okay, though. Now, I saved some space here because I wrote, like, Happy Holidays in 2020. You can put whatever message you want, okay? But I got my 3 traced. All right, now, here comes the fun part, the loops. Now, when I did the loops here, there's 2 types of loops, and I'm gonna let you choose. This one goes parallel across, like straight across, and we do wanna use curved lines because we wanna make our candy canes look like they are 3-dimensional, like a cylinder. We don't want them to look flat. But when I did this one over here, I wanted an angle. We still made curved lines, but we made angles. So I'm gonna let you choose. If you wanna use one of each, that's fine. I'm gonna I'll do one of each. So my center one here, I'll do a cross, and then my 2 outside ones, I'll do the diagonals, just to give you a choice, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna start in the center one. So what I like to do is I'll turn my paper vertical, okay? Now, I'll start at the bottom. Keep the distance. You don't have to do a million of these. No, you see how mine are kind of spread out. If you wanna measure, I had one student ask to measure. I came in here, took a 1/2 inch. For this right here, I did do a little 1/2 inch. You can do that. I'm okay with that. That's a little sophisticated. I have no problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here though, curve. Don't go too deep, but try and make them the same. Curve, 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 curve. Now here's where it gets tricky. You gotta be careful. We're in a curve now. Curve for a curve. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna go curve up, curve, curve, and curve. If you have to rewatch that, do that, because the curve here gets a little tricky. Okay? All right, so that's that regular just across. For these, I'm gonna do the diagonal. So I'm gonna turn my paper a little bit, and I'm gonna come here. Same thing, I'm just gonna do it at a diagonal angle. Instead of going across, I'm going to go diagonal. Here we go. Start here, go up, down, curve. Take your time on this. Don't draw heavy in case you make a mistake. Now when I get to the curve, same thing. Starts to whip around, and Voila. And as you see, it almost changed. This one looped under. When you get over here, it starts to loop over because you're going around a curve over top. So it was under, 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 under. And when we start getting up here, under, starts to move, flip over. Now it's over. Same way for this one. Bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top. All of a sudden, it starts to do the flip and the turn and the curve. And now it's, and I should have made this a little bit more diagonal. But now it's top to bottom. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. All right, so here we go. And actually, you know what? I'll change it up. I'll go this way. So, diagonal. I'll do a little one down here. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. Oh, here comes that turn. Starts to flip over. And that's probably a little bit too close. And that's fine if you make a mistake, don't worry. Starting to flip over. Boom. Now it's completely done its flip. Now, I don't like this right here too much. If you see something you don't like, fix it. I'm gonna make that a little bit like that. Okay? And actually, you know what? Let's do this. It's too big of a gap. I'm gonna turn sideways here. And what I'm doing, you can't see me when I'm doing. I'm actually taking a step back and looking at the overall picture. And you erase and polish better than I did. I'm actually making sure that it looks right. So I step back, I take a break for a second, I look, and it's like, okay, that looks fine. Or if I see something that catches my eye, then I fix it. Okay, that literally is the hardest part of this whole project, is getting those things lined up, getting these curves. I still don't like this one. I'm gonna play around with that one a little bit when we're done. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. Okay, now, if you are going to use the markers, the Crayola markers, you can go ahead and start. Now, if you want to put the template back over, that's cool too, but you can go in here and start tracing. Get my marker to wake up here a little bit. If you use these thin tips, sometimes they're not dried out. You have to activate them. And what I do is I just put a piece of paper over here and I just go in a circle and I get them going. So if you're using markers, go ahead, trace, no coloring, but trace over everything. Sorry about that, that's my radio. I'm still at school. Trace everything you did in pencil, okay? If you're gonna watercolor, get this down and stop. Build these three right here. You also, if you want to, go ahead and you can write your message out lightly in pencil. If you wanna give this to somebody, like I might come here and go, Merry Christmas.
I'm on my way. Thank you so much.
Okay? So, and I might put some little designs out here, put 2020. That part's not important. That's up to you, okay? Main thing I want you to do is get these three down. If you're gonna use the magic markers like this one, trace lightly with the marker. And if you're going to watercolor, just get the pencil marks down and we'll go from there. Okay, guys? All right, I love working with you. I'm really excited about this one. Any questions, message me on Canvas and we'll get good to go. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye-bye.